And I'm back with more Danganronpa. Goodbye, despair! No, Danganronpa 2. We're still in the trial. It might take me 2 or 3 more episodes to finish it, but I am gonna finish it, so let's keep on going. Hopefully there's no more Hangman Gambits to fuck with me. Where's the control? There we go.
Huh?
The fire grenades!
Oops.
Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters and transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone. Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place.
Sorry,
As long as he put
plug
the
in my
poison in the
stuff.
same container he brought to the warehouse, it can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
Bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Hajime.
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
Seriously? That's impossible! Miss Sonia just said so right now.
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade.
Huh?
The blue piece of paper!
I can prove it with this. Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No, that is not just a piece of trash. The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's bed?
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room. We also found a gas mask and gloves under his bed, too.
Did he use those when he put the poison inside the fire grenade?
It's a dangerous poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping them.
So what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in and died. Right? So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide. Enough already!
You're right. If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See? I told you. The conclusion is still the same. Nagito committed suicide. End of story.
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. That was just my misunderstanding.
You're right.
In actuality, the truth is even more horrifying.
What did you say?
So again, this is the part where I'm gonna hold my tongue until they explain it. But the logistics of this is kinda kooky.
Hey, what are you planning to say now?
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide.
No, it's not.
Chuck,
I'm sorry, but I just realized it.
realized what?
We know Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison. So when was it deployed in the warehouse? When did Nagito breathe in the poison? When I thought along those lines, that's when I realized it.
The horrifying truth?
It probably happened at the same time.
When we threw them.
I see!
Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yeah, I think so. When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse, the poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito.
If that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
One of us?
What the heck?
One of us threw the poison grenade that killed Nagito?
Hold on a sec. The Nagito, what
Did it mean he didn't kill himself?
She said so yourself! You said Nagito committed suicide!
Then who killed Nagito?
You mean, who's the actual killer, right?
Do you know?
Who prepared the poison fire grenade that killed Nagito?
I see!
It was Nagito, obviously. We just discussed this a few minutes ago.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw the poison grenade?
I see!
That was also Nagito.
Hey, how many times are you gonna ask the same damn question?
The next question will be my last. Considering all the facts up till now, why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
To make us throw the poison.
I see!
Don't tell me. He set the warehouse on fire just so we'd have to throw the fire grenades?
He set the fire just so we'd put it out? Why'd he do that?
It was a trap.
A trap?
Preparing the poison. Creating a reason for us to throw the poison. It was all a setup by Nagito. It was all a trap to make one of us throw the poison grenade.
Seriously, I'm asking you who threw it.
I don't know. The person who threw it probably didn't know either.
Huh? Could it be... Was that Nagito's trap?
This wasn't an intentional murder. This was a murder that Nagito forced someone to do. And for that reason, he put the fire grenade that he filled with poison with the other grenade. Setting up a murder nobody can solve. That was Nagito's true goal.
So that part I can accept. What I will say is his luck, and might as well mention it now. So here's where. Sorry, I'm putting my controller down for a second. Here's where I have an issue with this. And I mentioned that there was another game not doing something similar, but traipsing on probabilities and consistencies and making sure everything happens like you plan everything in advance. So this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this, and then this, and then this. Like, I get it, from a murder perspective, it's good and all, but for this one, because it's a murder that's defined by, oh, just make someone throw it. But I'll go a little further for this right now. It isn't just that someone threw it. The entire time, Nagito was trying to figure out who the traitor was, even if it killed him. Turns out he will. But the mechanism for it is what I have a problem with, because I know all game they've basically been saying Nagito's the ultimate lucky student. That's great and all, but everything he's done, hurting himself, to basically almost killing himself, to preparing the poison, to doing this just to leave the fire grenades. If it was one fire grenade and, like, he knew it, or if he had every single fire grenade, that'd be one thing. But he prepped one fire grenade amongst them all. So he had to hope that his luck would allow it to be selected by the right person, so that the traitor would be the one who's killed. That was his goal, I suppose. Now, you can write that off by saying it's Nagito. Like, I get that. Nagito's a fucking weirdo. He's been a nut job all game. His luck has been established. But luck and curses and voodoo and luck and curses and like, again, that's all under the mechanism of, well, if you could somehow make it so the person you suspect is the traitor is the one that's going to pick up that specific one, okay. But you also have to have the luck that when they throw it, that is the one that lands first. Or amidst all the other stuff, So again, you're basically prepping two different things and hoping that they all do the thing. Like, you're hoping that fire grenade goes off before the sprinklers do. So you're traipsing off like 2 or 3 different things of luck. You're hoping that the right person collects it. You're hoping that the right person throws it fast enough that you get hit by poison before the sprinklers go off and everybody else's stuff goes off. It just screams too much like plot armor, because they're trying to hand wave it as his luck. Alright? I understand that. It's a cool idea in theory, but in execution it's really stupid, because you have to understand... Think of it like a sport. You can prep every single scenario and do every single thing, but when you actually do the thing, you can't prep the time, you can't prep the accuracy, you can't prep the outward surroundings. You plan and you hope, but you cannot stop unpredictability. So that's why I wanted to bring up the other game here, and I'll get back to the game in a second. There's a game which is beloved and hated in equal measure, Chrono Cross. And I've played it, and I like it to a degree, but essentially if you've not played it, a lot of the end game, where they try to tie things into Chrono Trigger and also tie you back to what the main villain's goal is, what the main thrust of the narrative is, all comes down to prepping for coincidences that you hope actually pan out. So it's contingency upon contingency upon contingency upon contingency, prepped like 100, 200, 300, maybe longer years in the future, under the assumption that every single event that you prep doesn't get fucked up by a bird pooping on a rock and then you trip over the rock and then you fall and bust your knees, or you fall into a lake, or you stab yourself on a poison ivy thing, or you just don't walk out that day. Stupid bullshit happens all the time. Any stupid little thing that messes with unpredictability, like the weather could be wrong. You trying to get what I'm saying, right? Some mastermind can prep every goddamn thing, and have to remember it's also a time travel narrative, so I never liked Chrono Cross from that perspective, that there's this guy that predicts and sees everything, and he hopes that this person that is not affected by his like weird shenanigans, but he can see the future so that he can prep everything so that it happens. It's like saying, I prepped everything all along so that you would do the thing. Okay. You didn't prep for me to not die, so I still made it. You know, that's why narratives of masterminds prepping every single scenario do still have to offer up luck as a solution. So it's like, okay, you're not accounting for the stupidity of human existence. Even in a video game context, even in a dramatic context, I can sit here and go, everything you plan doesn't always go according to plan. So, yeah, Nagito may or may not known who the traitor was, but the fact that his luck determined that the person who died was also the traitor, as we'll see, that just stings to me as a little hackneyed and a little too good to be true, even in the context of a goofy visual novel murder game, that I shouldn't take that seriously. Spent a while talking about that. Again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But hey, that's my thought process on it. That's why I was leading up to it. I'm sorry, but luck does not include plot armor. This is how you wrote it, and I still think it's kind of stupid. Anyway.
What the hell?
Nagito did not commit murder. Instead, he manipulated someone else into killing him.
To do that, he set a trap to force someone to kill him.
So yeah, forcing someone. If nothing else, he could prep that forcing someone to kill him But it just so happens that his luck dictated that the person ends up being the traitor. That's a little too convenient even for luck, so
The
I'm
poison
sorry.
grenade and the fire were traps. That's why the curtain was the fire's origin point. All the fire grenades we threw at the curtain shattered once they fell to the floor. Because of that, Nagito, who was laying face up on the floor, was able to breathe in the dense poison and then...
Hold on. If that's true, you can't say the poison was the cause of death. It might be the poison's fault he let go of the spear, but the actual cause of death could be either one.
Even so, the poison is what caused him to let go of the spear.
That's right! Nagito's killer is the one who made him breathe the poison!
Are you fucking serious?
That was his trap all along. Even the wounds all over his body. It was all to mess with the evidence for what actually happened.
Also, I forget to mention, like, how he knew that his wounds would not cause him to die before the poison. Because again, what if the party took too long to get to the warehouse, and he just died of blood loss? Well, his plan fails at the first hurdle, you know? Does he just cut himself as the stuff enters? I mean, that's possible, but the fact that he could have cut himself at any point makes that unsustainable. So, if they spent like 10 or 12 extra minutes, they'll just die of blood loss, or even less. I don't know. Again, it's circumstantial luck bullshit plot armor. That's kind of my problem.
His true goal was creating a murder that nobody can solve. He wanted to prove to us there are mysteries that just can't be solved with educated guesses.
He probably expected that his fake suicide would be found out. After all, a mystery that can be solved is destined to be solved in the end. However, he also prepared a mystery that couldn't be solved. As you solve mysteries and bolster your hope, a huge mystery comes along and slaps you in your faces! For those of you who believe there are no unsolvable mysteries, that is when you finally taste despair. Meaning, he used all of the prior class trial verdicts to prepare this trick. Not all mysteries can be solved. Such a devious trick he played on you, as expected of Nagito.
That's totally messed up. That's so fucked up.
It is my fault, because I told you all about the fire grenade. I am so sorry. Please vote me as the killer.
That's not the fucking issue here.
It's not Miss Sonia's fault. This is all Nagito's doing.
But what should we do? How can we even figure out who the killer is?
It's impossible.
Impossible?
Nagito wanted to create a scenario where we couldn't make a decision. That's why we're at an impasse.
However, Monokuma also does not know who the killer is.
That's right. There's no way he'd be able to figure that out with just his surveillance camera. If Monokuma doesn't know, this trial doesn't count.
You know, I don't actually need stuff like cheap-ass surveillance cameras or whatever. I know perfectly well what's happening on this island at all times. I know you used the bathroom 3 times yesterday, Sonia. And one of those visits seemed to take a while.
Please stop! I will never become queen!
What the fuck?
How can you... I mean, how can you have such an awful power?
God, you're disgusting. Can we kill you just so I don't have to listen to you again? You're worse than Taro.
So, of
Taro
course,
Taro,
this trial
how?
still counts.
How are you
Do
worse
your
than
very
that guy?
best to guess who the killer is.
Yes, he says. How the hell are we supposed to do that?
Is giving up all we can do?
No, it's too early to give up.
Is there any way to figure out who the killer is?
Even though it's just a hunch, it's possible that it's probable. There's one way, I think.
Really?
Hey, is it alright if we look at Nagito's crime one more time from the beginning? I want to make sure my hunch is correct, Hajime. Please.
That's right. It doesn't mean the trial's over yet. Even though I don't know who killed Nagito, it should be clear what kind of trap he set.
I got it. Let's do this then.
We're doing the closing argument way sooner than normal, but hey. Burned rope. Grab the sphere. Shit.
Here's everything that happened in this case. The person who actually arranged this incident was the victim, Nagito Komaeda. He kept a specific item inside his cottage that he needed for his plan. Monokuma's special poison, which he brought with him from the Octagon. Using the gloves and gas mask that he got from the military base, Nagito swapped the contents of a fire grenade he took from the plushie factory break room with that poison. When he did that, a specific item was left as evidence, the blue aluminum seal on the grenade. With that, Nagito finished making the poisoned fire grenade, took it with him to the factory, and put it back with the rest of the grenades in the break room. The next morning, Nagito appeared before us and declared that he hid a bomb somewhere. While we were looking for the bomb, that's when Nagito headed over to the goods warehouse. In order to set up a fire, Nagito arranged the Monokuma panels in a line going from the door to the curtain and placed an oil lighter in front of it. From there, Nagito set his insane plan in motion. First, he hung the spear that he took from Nezumi Castle from the ceiling girder by its cord. Then he tied his arms and legs at the back of the warehouse with rope. However, he burnt off the rope on his right arm beforehand. In doing so, he made sure that only his right hand was free, while his remaining arm and legs were tied up. As he gripped the tip of the rope hanging over the ceiling girder with his left hand, he lay down face up, just beneath the dangling spear. But this was just the beginning of Nagito's plan. And then, he did something no one could have predicted. First, he covered his mouth with duct tape, and after making sure he was unable to scream, he stabbed himself with the knife multiple times in his left arm and in both of his thighs. Finally, he propped the knife on the plushie and slammed his right hand onto the blade. He didn't just want us to think he was tied up. He also wanted us to think he'd been tortured. Through all this, Nagito never let go of the spear. His plan still wasn't over. In fact, it was just about to begin. Meanwhile, we finally arrived at the plushie factory and found Nagito's message. After seeing his message, we instantly made our way to the warehouse. But that was part of Nagito's plan.
That's the part that, again, he can prep all he wants, but I think, they instantly went to the warehouse just to stop him. Like, okay, again, you're asking them to do exactly what you're looking for. I'm like, yes, but again, a lot of this is circumstantial plot arc.
We opened the door to the warehouse, which inadvertently started the Monokuma panel domino effect. The panels fell one after another until they reached the lighter, tipped it over, and ignited the curtain. Shocked by the sudden fire, we rushed to the factory's break room to obtain some fire-extinguishing grenades. We then aimed for the fire's origin point, which was the curtain, and unloaded the entire supply. It never occurred to us that one of those grenades was the poison grenade that Nagito had prepared. The poison sank to the floor, instantly vaporizing due to the intense heat, and spread everywhere. The poison gas quickly drifted to the curtain at the back of the warehouse, where Nagito was. Also, Monokuma's poison has a unique quality in which it becomes heavier than air when vaporized. That poison gas completely surrounded the area where Nagito lay face up on the floor. There, Nagito inhaled the poison, and if it didn't instantly kill him, he certainly lost consciousness. Which caused him to let go of the rope in his left hand, and the falling spear plunged into his stomach. This is all the information related to Nagito's plan. His true intention was to set one of us up as the killer. At this time, we still don't know who the killer is, because the killer wasn't aware they killed someone. Try as we might, we cannot reach that truth. That was Nagito's trap.
That part I can agree with. It's the luck part that I'm gonna have trouble with later. But anyway.
In conclusion, the fact that we can't determine the killer's identity. This should be the truth behind Nagito's trap.
How about it, Chiaki? Will that help you figure out who the killer is?
Chiaki?
Just as I thought. It's impossible, isn't it?
You say we just have to vote for someone?
What Hajime said is probably true. That's part of the reason why I thought it was a little strange. Did Nagito really not care who the killer was? He said this to us earlier. That feeling of belief is at the heart of his trick. He believed we'd notice the fire grenades. He believed we'd try to extinguish the flames. And he believed we'd fall into his trap. By believing in us, Nagito was able to put his life-threatening plan into effect.
What do you mean, believe?
And what's wrong with that?
There's one more thing, remember? Something that Nagito believed in from the bottom of his heart. I want you to try to remember what that is.
His luck.
I see!
Nagito believed in his talent as the ultimate lucky student.
Guess the last thing he could believe in was his own talent.
That's not so strange, really. Most of us here have been relying on the same thing.
But, in his case, it was pretty remarkable, wasn't it? It almost seemed like he had blind faith in it.
You're right. The same thing happened when he cleared the final dead room at the funhouse.
Yeah, again. Luck. I know that it's an established thing, but it's still a bit much.
But his luck doesn't have anything to do with the case this time, right?
I just thought it was strange that it doesn't connect to anything. He factored in his belief in us, but for some reason he didn't factor in his own luck. No, there's no way. I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about.
What did he do?
No, he wasn't just after anybody. He probably had a target. A target he was aiming for all along. A person to set up as the killer.
This is the part where the luck just falls face first for me, and I mentioned that before.
A target?
The target's true identity. Even Nagito didn't know it. That's why he relied on being the ultimate lucky student, and incorporated that luck into his plan. As long as he had his luck, he believed the target he was after would pick up the fire grenade.
You mean he left his plan to luck?
He risked his life for that?
He probably risked his life just so his ultimate luck could decide this.
Who is it? Who's the target Nagito was after?
It's the traitor.
I see!
That's it. The traitor. Nagito was after the traitor, huh?
Then he relied on his luck to weed out the traitor?
Nagito didn't know who the traitor was until the very end. All he could do was rely on his own luck.
Then what he said in his video meant...
So he was just bluffing.
That's probably true. By that point, his plan should have already been in motion.
But if he just wanted to out the traitor, he didn't have to go this far and make that person the killer. Damn it! We're all in a huge bind because of that!
It means he wants us to beat the traitor.
By finding out who the traitor is, our hopes will shine even brighter by overcoming that despair. That's something he'd say.
Mon ami, it looks like you've got something you want to say. But you better just keep your mouth shut.
And that concludes my argument. Nagito's plan was to make the traitor kill him. What are you gonna do? Are you guys gonna believe me?
He relied on his luck to aim for a target, but he didn't even know who he was aiming for. It sounds way too unbelievable to have actually happened. See? I've said this all along. That's my biggest problem with this. But anyway, I'll stop.
The
I'll
only
just
thing
get
we
to...
can do is believe.
If we don't, then we'd just be relying on our luck when we cast our vote.
But even if we do believe, what should we do? I mean, if we don't know who the target is, there's no way we can even vote.
You are absolutely right. It is hard to think the traitor would reveal themselves now.
If, by chance, the traitor revealed themselves during that bomb scare, what would have happened? Would it have stopped Nagito from acting so reckless?
Huh?
But they couldn't help it. Even if they wanted to reveal themselves, they couldn't do it because they weren't created to do that.
Chiaki?
What's wrong, Chiaki? Get a hold of yourself! That's why I want you guys to guess.
You want us to guess?
Yeah, I want you to guess.
What? What does that mean?
Who do you think it is, Hajime?
Duh.
Who do you think the Future Foundation sent to infiltrate your group as the traitor?
Why?
A traitor who's not allowed to think that they're different from everyone else.
Why?
A traitor who can only interact with everyone as a traitor.
Why?
Because that's the nature of their existence. They can only exist as a traitor.
Seriously, why?
Who do you think is the traitor? Hajime, please.
I think you know where this is going. Ah, fuck. Well, I'll keep this going next time.